Previously on St. Elsewhere.
Boston Women's Clinic.
I told all of you to start thinking about where you're going to do community service. 2 of you stepped forward.
I'm not going to listen to any lectures about responsibility.
Still can't remember your name.
I need to know, Dr. Weiss. I need to know who I am.
You're a doctor, aren't you?
Yes, Dr. Jonas Wisner, MD.
Mary Richards. I'm Mary Richards. Hi.
The man, upset because we're performing abortions at St. Regis, said there's a bomb in the hospital.
Five women in labor, 1 with twins, plus 2 missed ABs. To be camped out here for 3 days while you diddle away your day off.
Westfall wants to see me first thing tomorrow.
Call to the principal's office, huh? What's up?
Getting my community outreach assignment.
Oh,
Can't wait. Victor,
yeah,
You doing the DNC on Terryville area tomorrow?
yeah. Early morning dust and clean.
I haven't had a chance to talk to her and Ken about the miscarriage, so you take it easy on them, okay?
Bingo.
Good enough.
probably have to sit through some stupid lecture on responsibility.
You and Westfall haven't exactly been sorority sisters since you yelled at him on rounds.
I got sick of hearing him tear into us about not being committed.
Never take on one of the head cheeses. Look, we're messing with Caldwell, got me. Stood up to somebody for the first time. Next thing I know, I'm doing hard labor in the labor suite.
$1 on that one.
Hold the elevator. Thanks, man.
By the way, where is Bob?
Went to some old lady's funeral in Baltimore and freaked out. Personally, I'm thrilled.
What do you think I ought to do when I see Westfall?
Well, with that, sorry. Donnie boy, you got 2 possibilities. One, pull Beaver Cleaver. You know, call him sir, stare at the rug, and eat crow. Or B, scream like a banshee and get dropped from the residency program.
Well, that's all I need. I got enough problems. Planning a marriage, having to buy a ring.
Tell me about it, bud. Connubial bliss is a living hell. I'd rather stroll into a spinning propeller. Take it from me, toadyism is the only way to go. Remember, Westfall brings up Ethiopia. Act like you're interested, okay?
For us and for our tragedy, here stooping to your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently. Fear no more the heat of the sun or the fury.
What the hell is that bozo doing? John Doe number 6.
That's the nut that impersonated Dr. Wisner.
Likeable fellow,
Marco.
actually. Mixed up, though. I'm trying to help him to remember what his true identity is.
All Mustard's chimney sweepers come to dust.
You want me to call security?
No, I'll handle this.
Oh, Yorick.
We must make Plymouth by nightfall.
John,
Prithee, peace. Fie, unknit that threatening, unkind brow. The name's Shakespeare, William.
I'm afraid the show's over.
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Ooh. Blow winds, crack your cheeks, you cataracts and hurricanos. Spout till you've drenched our steeples. Ooh, poor time's a cold.
You find your room nice and warm.
To bed. Moore, she was chaste. She loved thee, cruel Moore.
Who, Gary Moore?
Fellow. He left his skull.
Yeah, somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Dr. Early, how's Terry?
Her D.C. was A-OK. They're bringing out a post-op now.
Great way to start a day.
Here we are.
Are you all right?
Compared to what?
She's gonna be fine.
You know, I'm sick and tired of hearing that from you people.
Ken, it's not the hospital's fault.
I've had enough of this crap. Dr. Turner suckered us into trying to have a kid, and then she splits. Next, it's Chandler's turn, and now you. Our plumber jacks us around, but we expect that from
No
him.
one gave you any guarantees.
Come on, you call the dance, and we're supposed to do the steps. Artificial insemination, in vitro fertilization, embryo harvesting. Zoos have had better luck breeding pandas.
Wait a minute. There's no reason to give up hope. There's got to be something we can do. Surrogate mothering, for instance. It's expensive. You still have to harvest and fertilize Terry's eggs for implantation into another woman. But you be the ones making the muffin. Just be baking it in someone else's oven.
Thanks, I think I prefer my own kitchen.
Okay. There's always adoption.
I was adopted.
Okay, then you're already a leg up. I'll arrange for you both to meet with an adoption counselor. What have you got to lose, right?
Come in.
Dr. Weissman?
Dr. Fiscus, this is Julie Addix. She's a nurse with one of the home health agencies.
Hello.
Hi. Sit down.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Addix is here to set you up in your community service.
Doing what?
I'm in charge of geriatric home health care. We provide doctors who make house calls to elderly shut-ins.
You're kidding.
Is there a problem?
No. Please continue.
Our patients need follow-up exams, medical maintenance, post-op care. They also need company from time to time.
Sir, excuse me, but I'm an ER doctor.
Go on, Mrs. Addix.
Elderly patients have
I have to do
unique
community
needs and
service. I'd like to work
problems.
for this a little more.
They want to have some control over their lives.
That's exactly why I've assigned you to geriatric home health care, Fiscus. You need to see another side of medicine.
I've never really cared for gerontology.
I was under the impression your residents were enthusiastic about their volunteer work.
Yes, well, some of them have needed a push. This isn't open to discussion, Fiscus.
Yes, sir.
Working with older people presents quite a challenge. Oh, they can wear you down. Disease and illness hit their age group especially hard.
John, how are you doing this morning?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger. Fat rump and potato finger.
Still Shakespeare.
Well, what's done cannot be undone. My complete works. Every edition from folio to Signet Classic. I I use monarch notes for the boring king plays. Timon of Athens. Unfinished, you know? Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, I said to myself, I'll rewrite old Timon. But after 37 plays and 154 sonnets by me, not Bacon or Marlowe, the quill hand gets tired.
John, does your pretending to be the bard have anything to do with our talk yesterday? I told you that a man and woman who may be able to identify you will be coming today.
What's in a name?
They could be your relatives.
Well a day. Then I'll sweat and seek about for eases, and at that time bequeath you my diseases. Pare thy nails, Dad.
Hey, Fiscus, where you headed?
Doom.
Oh, yeah, I heard you and Mona got engaged.
You know what community service Westfall stuck me with? House calls to old people.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. If you enjoy watching paint dry. Excuse me. You got the time?
Yeah, it's 9:05.
Thanks.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Hi. How'd the deposition go?
Oh. I felt like I was on trial for kidnapping the Lindbergh baby. Lucy's lawyer was the most obnoxious... You should have heard the way he treated me. What went through your mind when you beat Nurse Papandreou? Did hitting her give you pleasure, honey? Ugh.
Well, what's your lawyer think?
Oh, he advised me to settle. Then he gave me his bill. You know, with what nurses make, I can't afford this.
I guess you shouldn't have hit her, huh?
Oh, what's wrong with me? I never hit anybody, and now I'm going around slugging everybody, including my son.
Raising kids is tough, huh?
Yeah. And making them was so easy.
Yeah.
Myocardial infarction, anemia, phlebitis. What a mess. Come on, lady.
Who is it?
Dr. Fiscus.
I've never heard of you.
I'm with the Home Health Agency. Miss Pavlon?
Doctors carry black bags,
I'm an iconoclast.
but I don't need a specialist.
Wait, Miss Pavlon. Last time someone was here to see you, there was some problems with your blood pressure.
So?
I really should examine you and check it out. Believe me, I wish I didn't have to be here either.
Wipe your feet.
Looks like you've been here a long time.
We burned the mortgage in 49. I haven't traipsed upstairs since the stroke put me in this damn wheelchair. Well, get ahead with the rubber glove inspection.
Ever considered living anyplace cheerier? You know, people around?
You mean a nursing home? I've watched my friends go in there. People perfectly capable of taking care of themselves, and in 6 months they were like hothouse flowers. No, sir. I've lived here, and I'll die here.
How have you been feeling?
Well, palpitations now and again.
You forget to take your heart medicine?
Of course not. You think I'm an idiot?
Okay, I'm gonna want you to breathe.
I am breathing. If I weren't breathing, I'd be dead.
All right.
Now, doctor, let me just comprehend this. You say this patient of yours, he came here and had the faintest idea who he was?
And you removed a lesion from his brain?
After he fooled us into thinking he was head of the residency review committee.
Mary Richards.
That was later.
And now he thinks he's old William Shakespeare.
I'm afraid so.
William and Mary. Well, the old boy's eyes are pointed towards the south, anyway.
Here we are.
Darling?
Having a go at timing. I'm stuck. You know, should I keep this a satire or make it a tragedy?
Lucinda Farrar, Ramsey Headley, this is John Doe.
Good God.
What lady's that doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
Mrs. Headley.
Sweet thought to lie between a maiden's legs. But enough about country matters.
I have never seen this man before in my life. This man is not my brother.
Blood pressure's high. There's a few rails in your lungs. I'm gonna have to adjust your heart medicine.
Every new doctor changes the medication. First it was digitalis, then it was furosemide, and then it was hydralazine. Can't you people make up your minds? You know, Dr. Janko took care of me almost all my life until he died. All he needed was a stethoscope, and he could fix anything.
I'm gonna send your blood in for tests, and the x-ray van will come by sometime tomorrow.
Well, tell them to bring fuses. The last time they kept blowing mine.
You know, we could take care of everything in one visit if you would just come to the hospital.
Oh, sure. Find somebody to wheel me to the bus. And then see another strange doctor who rushes me from floor to floor, half naked, in front of the public, and never takes the time to get to know me.
Never mind. You ever use that thing?
That's a player piano. Does it look like I could pump the pedals?
Just asking.
My husband and I used to play and sing along. If one of us heard the other start pedaling, it meant that we were going to make love that night. That was 30 years ago. Oh, it's horrible getting old. Your body aches from stem to stern. It's just a piece of junk. Of course, you wouldn't know about that. You got your whole life ahead of you. Mine was over before they landed on the moon. But frankly, I'd rather be dead. Well, leave me alone. You ought to wear a hat.
I like that view myself. We had one patient who said he could see 4 states from this spot. States of mind, that is.
They look different somehow.
Who did?
Lucinda and Ramsey.
Say that again.
They acted rather, how shall I say it, weird.
You knew those people today?
Of course, my sister Lucinda and my husband Ramsey. I was born June 13th, 1946, Baton Rouge. Brought up Garden District of New Orleans. Champion tarpon fisherman, world record landing off the Delta, July 1977. Real estate holdings, Mississippi, Baton Rouge, and Lake Pontchartrain. Major philanthropist for Tuskegee and Tulane. Made my millions in offshore oil rigs. Summa cum laude, English lit, LSU. You don't believe me?
You played quite a few roles since we met.
This one's real. I know who I am now. Seeing them all made it click into place. I'm Thomas Pendleton Farrar.
But if you're their brother, why didn't they say something?
I don't know. But I want to go home.
Helen, why wasn't Mr. Perrette given his morning propranolol? Or does someone have a grudge against his recovery or something?
I wasn't here this morning. I was busy being interrogated by a shyster lawyer.
Mr. Perrette's pulse was 42. It's in his chart. And some people can't face the music.
$15,000 in punitive damages. Where am I going to get that kind of money?
Mud wrestling?
Have a nice day.
Did you enjoy putting me through hell this morning? The insults, the insinuations.
You threw the punch, honey.
You provoked it. Besides, I've seen you treat patients worse. You know, Lucy, nobody around here likes you because you treat people like dirt. You're so miserable in your own life that you have to make other people pay for it.
Don't talk to me that way.
Yes? Mr. Headley?
Pardon my intrusion, but, it's imperative that I talk to you about my poor demented brother-in-law.
Please have a seat.
Dr. Outlander, that man that we saw today was most certainly Tom.
So he told me. His recall was extraordinary.
Oh, perhaps you will understand then why I'm here without my wife's cognizance. Poor Lucinda. Oh, she's always hiring detectives to hunt down Tom when he goes off one of his escapades. We never know who he's going to be dressed up as next.
I've no desire to pry into family history, but...
And every time he got peculiar, Lucinda had to take charge of the company, or rather I was forced to take charge of the company. She had the legal control, her hands on all that money, but I was the one who held the whole shebang from going to the dogs.
As a physician, I must insist you have a very real responsibility toward your brother-in-law.
What?
You must take him.
I agree, but the problem is that Lucinda doesn't want Tommy at home. No, without him, she owns everything. The company, the family fortune, every red cent in her lily-white hands.
Why did she come to find him?
Because I begged her on these knees, and she weakened into an experience of honor. Momentarily, but the sight of her brother froze that heart of hers harder than the winter soil of the Delta. Oh, it's a crying pity. You see, Lucinda can be cold, and Lucinda can be callous. She also has a fixation for German shepherds.
What do you want me to do?
Well, I know that you are a stranger. However, I have always depended on the kindness of strangers. Help me get Tom away from that Goldilocks iron butterfly, or she'll drive him more loony than ever before. Yes, she was the one. But I could help that poor boy back into his right wits. Well, make me the legal guardian of his rehabilitation, huh?
Somewhere. There we are. Me and my wife. A house act at the old Howard Theater for 20 years. I tore the place down in 62. I got an article about it. Here. Somewhere. Here. There. They razed it to the ground. Helen and I sang up a storm in there. I miss her every day at showtime.
It's quite a collection you have there.
Yeah, my life. I pass the time sifting through it.
Don't you get out?
Oh, not when it's slick. It's too dangerous. I hibernate. Sad time, winter.
Have any kids?
Jeannie somewhere in California. I had a row with the other one. Helen and I were together for 70 years. Best companion a fella could ever want. Passed away in 84 during the closing ceremonies of the Olympics. Now, that line where Richie was singing all night long. But Helen never made it. Got the obit here. Noted partner and wife of Harry Cregan.
Oh, your blood sugar seems okay. I'm gonna have to listen to your lungs.
Oh.
You been feeling all right?
Yeah, good days, bad days. My legs hurt. No appetite. And then lately I've got plumbing.
No pressure?
Yeah. It starts and then just quits.
Well, it's not unusual to have a decrease in tumescence.
I first met Helen in the first grade and said, she's the one. We slept together in that one bed for 60 years after we was married. No matter when I was so sick. She had the left side. And her hair, she combed her hair 100 times. I always thought my wife would outlive me.
Dr. Westphal.
Why aren't you out on your house call?
I made 2 visits.
You were supposed to see 6 patients.
I couldn't take any more.
Get me here. What the hell's your problem, Fiscus?
I'm not suited to working with old people.
You're a doctor.
They need people who can relate to them. The 2 people I saw, the first one hated me on sight, has everything wrong with her and just wanted to die. The second one's a shell living in the past. I've been trained to save lives. If there's a heartbeat, you do everything you can to keep it pumping. I can't just sit there and watch these people dry up and blow away.
You know, all I've heard from you lately are complaints. Would you excuse us for a minute, please?
I don't know how to deal with these patients.
You're a smartass. Do you know that, Fiscus? Why don't you use your brain for something besides chasing skirts? Look, people need a purpose in their lives. Do you understand? I had a patient in Ethiopia. She was in her 70s, Sisa. And she was dying by degrees. And anyway, while I was there, I delivered a baby. Well, the mother didn't make it. She died in labor. Now, there was no one to take care of this child. So I asked Sisa if she'd do it. She was very reluctant at first. But when I left, she and the baby had moved into the camp together.
So I'm supposed to find orphan babies for everyone?
Look, Fiscus, in ER, you're accustomed to the moment of death, the instant. Well, dying takes longer than that for most of us. It takes years of living, growing old. See, I happen to think that helping to maintain life is just as important as trying to save it. I'm not going to change your assignment, Fiscus, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Mr. Friedhaber, there's no reason for you to sell short. Whack-Max bottomed out. It's even jumped an eighth while we were talking. Fine. Mr. Friedhaber, you're the client. I'll write it up and call you tomorrow. Hey, look who's here again.
Just thought I'd stop in, see how you 2 are doing.
Fine. We're going to talk to the adoption people this week.
What adoption people?
Dr. Ehrlich's suggestion.
Well, don't you think you're rushing things a little bit?
I'd hardly call 5 months of trying to have a baby rushing.
But suddenly you're willing to adopt.
What's the matter with that?
Well, it depends upon your perspective. Would you want to be somebody's solution?
I had a wonderful life, Dr. Chandler. My adoptive parents loved me. Ken and I can do the same thing.
Let me tell you what you're up against. If you go through the public agencies, you'll have to wait up to a month before you get an appointment. Then you'll have to wait to fill out forms, wait to be interviewed.
Well, there are thousands of children out there that need homes.
But you see, they're not infants.
It's got to be a baby.
And they're mainly black or Hispanic, and let's face it, most couples want a kid who looks like themselves.
I didn't even consider this.
What if we went out of state?
Well, first you have to fill out a spec sheet describing yourselves. Then you have to take it around to every OB you can find and hope that they'll pass it on to a doctor who might have a patient who might be having a baby.
And then what?
You wait.
Dr. Fishhandler.
Mrs. Headley, I've been trying to reach you.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I haven't been back to the Ritz-Carlton. I'm trying to avoid my husband. He'd be extremely upset if he knew I was talking to you.
Please sit.
Oh, thank you so much.
May I get you something?
Oh, no, thank you. I'm afraid my head is still spinning from this morning. Imagine finding your baby brother after all those years. I'm elated.
You admit he's your brother?
Oh, well, of course he's my brother. Oh, I'm so sorry I had to lie to you this morning.
Why did you pretend not to know him?
Well, at first I think I was just simply stunned seeing Tom in that hospital bed wearing those ridiculous clothes and babbling Shakespeare. Of course, he's always had the eccentricities of a nightingale, but he's never flown quite so far afield before.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Oh. How could you possibly be expected to, Doctor? You see, Tom and Ramsey hate each other. They always have right from the beginning, and for very good reason. Oh, excuse me, I wonder if you could get me a glass and some ice, please. You see, Ramsey is a born ne'er-do-well. A drifter, going from job to job. I didn't know that. I didn't know that when we married. I thought he was a gentleman of leisure. And then I found out our wedding was his windfall. Of course, I was just never bred to pragmatism. At any rate, as long as I control the finances, Ramsey will get a very liberal allowance. But once Tom comes home, Ramsey knows the milk train does not stop here anymore.
What do you expect me to do?
Oh, Doctor, only I can return my dear brother to the bosom of his loving family.
This really isn't my line of work.
Oh, Doctor, please, please. I've always depended upon the kindness of strangers.
Helen, I've been thinking things over. We have to work together, and we have to get along. And life's just so short. I mean, this case could drag on in the courts for months. So, there. Now we're even. I'll drop the lawsuit.
Hang on a minute, Slippy. Mr. Tagliarino.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you doing in here?
Hiding.
Oh. According to this form, the school nurse says you've got multiple contusions and a possible dislocated shoulder.
Yeah. I got banged up pretty good, huh? Mm-hmm. But can we hurry up? I mean, I gotta get back or they're gonna take me off depth chart.
Yeah, just step right in here. Middle cubicle. Have fun.
Jack, you're a compassionate, caring, rational human being, right?
Well, I don't know. Well, I like to think of myself as, but you know, I know sometimes.
Forget it. What's the problem? I can't complete my community service. I mean, I can't face another musty apartment or waiting for some old fogey to finish whizzing before I give him a rectal exam. I'll take the football hero.
I think maybe you're having a tough time dealing with the old because you're scared of getting old.
I'm a Who fan.
Well, life only gives us two options, age or die.
Always optimistic, eh, Jack? Were your arms above your head before you got hit? Yeah. I spent the first 30 years of my life getting screwed up by my parents, by bad friends, bad drugs, bad sex. And just in the past year, I've managed to sort through my neuroses and keep the ones that keep me going. My life is just now finally starting to make some sense. Have you had problems with the shoulder before? No. It's not happening all that quickly. So what, another 30 years before I get myself unscrewed? Only by that time, I'm 2 strokes away from the 18th green and 1 stroke away from drooling on myself. 10 milligrams Valium for IV.
Hey, he seems kind of whacked out. I thought you were going to help me.
It's okay. I like this, seeing you upset.
Great, I made the day of a guy who slept through the 70s.
No. You're always so hip and so funny. It's just nice to know that you're as confused as I am. Like when you decided to freeze your sperm because you're afraid the time was passing you by. Oh. Take him to X-ray first. I'll be right back. William, look, I'm sorry. Okay? All right, you're afraid that you've wasted half your life. Well, imagine how those old people feel. They're alone, they're sick.
Yeah, and whatever chances they had at happiness are all used up.
Well, you can't change what's going to happen. But you can help them. And maybe, hopefully, when you and I get there, someone will help us.
Medical science has figured out how to prolong life, but not what people should do to fill the extra time. You eat the right food, you exercise, you live 200 years. But there's no one left to call.
Phil, your line of stuffies are in. Ought to buy one for Roxanne. Almost the same hairdo.
Does your mouth bypass your brain, or do you actually think before making a suggestion?
Okay, forget it. Don't send it to her. I just figured since you two had that big tiff before she left for backwoods Mississippi.
I just saw the Valeries. They told me you set them up with an adoption counselor.
Yeah. They rejected the surrogate mother idea.
Victor, how could you just walk in and offer them both sides of the menu? The Valairs have been through a lot the past few months. Now, what they need is to step back, forget about kids, and go to Hawaii. But instead, you pushed them right back into the ring.
These people want children. They're angry we haven't succeeded, you know? The problem's not going to go away on vacation.
Look, I've worked with them. Why didn't you consult me?
Judgment call, pal. Why don't the Valairs just put a kid on their gold card?
No wonder Caldwell bounced you out of surgery. Excuse me.
Was anyone killed? Miraculously, no. Phil Chandler got the worst of it. He's He's critical, still unconscious.
You'd think we were living in Beirut. I suppose the anti-abortion fanatic is responsible for this one, too.
Don't know for sure.
Maybe it was someone who thought we were using stuffed animals for research.
Mark, what are we going to do about this kind of violence? We're sitting ducks. What the hell is wrong with people?
Who goes first?
Me. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I'm afraid of you.
Oh, Tom.
Look, Dr. O'Slander, maybe I should just stay here. You know, I've made nice friends. I have a home.
Well, you have to go with your family.
But there's something back in here that makes me scared.
No, you must leave St. Eligius. You're perfectly well. But after listening to all of this, I've decided it would be better to let you go off by yourself rather than with either one of them.
Ramsey, the time has come for the truth.
Oh, no, honey. Let's give lying just one more chance.
No. Tom, Farrar River Chemicals is a disaster. This idiot I am married to has turned into a financial swamp.
You lie like a wooden rabbit. It was you who had a conniption fit when your daddy died and made Tommy his one and only heir. And then when he disappeared, you pulled out your proxy, but you knew nothing about running a family business any more than you do about sobriety.
Wait. You mean Tom really was good at running the company?
And the little boy's a corporate genius.
He made us into an empire. My brother is a shrewd, calculating mastermind.
Without you, Tom, we'll lose everything. We'll be destitute, broke, everything gone with the wind.
I don't care. I don't want to go back.
All right, that does it, you sniveling little brat. This time you're going to hear the truth and nothing but the truth. You ran away because you knew my marriage to Ramsey was over.
Can I go back to my room, please?
Oh, you have always romanticized us, Tommy, ever since the beginning. We're no Benedict and Beatrice.
And you are a very shrewd and very practical businessman. You made millions in order to sustain the image of that romantic couple that you were.
Yeah, and when the family was threatened with extinction, you became disillusional, delirious, and disappeared.
Liars!
No, Tom. This time it really is the truth, and you know it.
Yes, it is true. And I'm coming home with you.
Hallelujah.
What an escape.
No escape, Lucinda. I'm coming to New Orleans. Things are going to change. No more booze.
Oh.
And you will have to earn your own living at the company. And both of you must agree to patch up your differences and restore our family to order, or I won't return.
Sweet babe, I think we have created our own little Frankenstein.
My God.
You haven't said a word since Dr. Chandler left.
Yeah, you know me, Ken. What does that usually mean?
My first BMW. A used 528.
Could you explain that little cryptogram?
I'd gone down to the dealer to buy a new 528. None in stock. So I settled for somebody's old car as my new car. I was never happy tooling around Boston until I bought a brand new 528.
I think tool is the operative word here, isn't it? Ken, I may have been adopted, but I was never anybody's used car. Well, you can relate to things as in financial terms, possessions. You are the most selfish person I know.
We both are, Terry, because wanting our own kid who looks and walks and talks like us is selfish.
I'm aware of that now. And that's why I want to adopt even more, without you.
Don't start threatening divorce again, Terry. I might just take you up on it.
Good. And you can go off, remarry, have your own kids. Hell, you could wax them in your driveway on the weekend.
I'll be at the car.
Hey, Ken,
What?
go clone yourself.
Anything?
Well, the CAT scan's normal, but he's got a severe concussion.
That was close.
Yeah, he's lucky to be in one piece.
No, I meant me. Another few seconds gadding with him about the Valerians, and I'd have been wearing a Purple Heart, too.
Not very many people lived through 2 explosions in 2 days.
Not very many people encounter 2 explosions in 2 days. Sort of thing must run in his family. And his brother in that mine in Vietnam.
Does anybody know where the bomb was?
In a cleaning cart.
Who are you?
Something had to be done. That's why I planted the bombs here. After I'd reduced the women's clinic to fire and brimstone. Well, go ahead, call the cops. I intend to be arrested so people will know.
He's the bomber. Aloha.
Get security in 3304? No. So people will know what?
That I was doing God's work.
You killed a woman yesterday. He might never regain consciousness. You're a murderer.
I'm a warrior. A soldier. I defend the lives of children who can't defend themselves. The institutional murder of innocents must be eradicated.
Look, I don't believe in abortion either. St. Legion shouldn't be doing that, but bombs don't accomplish anything. Now, how can you say you defend lives while you kill?
How can you?
It's the law.
There's a higher law. You work in a death camp.
This man is my friend.
Well, sometimes the born must die to save the unborn. Go ahead. Go ahead, do it.
You're crazy.
No. No, I have a family. I have friends. I'm your neighbor.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Who's there?
Dr. Fiscus from this morning.
Oh. What do you want?
I came by to visit.
Well, I'm going to bed early. Good night.
Wait. Mrs. Pavlon, I brought a friend with. Wouldn't you like some company?
Well, I haven't got anything to eat.
That's okay. Be a couple minutes.
Oh, come in.
Okay. Wipe your feet. Harry Cragen, this is Althea Pavlon.
How do you do?
Not well.
Me neither.
Harry Cragen, that's a familiar name.
My wife and I used to perform at the old Howard Theater.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Oh, yeah, don't you remember? Cragen and Cragen, dancing, duets.
Oh, yes, I do remember both of you. I remember that she had a tin ear, and you lumbered around like a buffalo, a pair of real amateurs.
Oh, Ramsey, I'm really terribly happy and very, very relieved.
So am I, precious angel. So am I.
Out of order. You'll have to take the stairs.
I know you two are gonna make go of it.
Oh, Tom, didn't you know that Ramsey and I love each other and always will?
Insanely, no matter what.
Oh, Dr. Fishandler, thank you so much for everything you've done.
I did very little.
Oh, but you did it so beautifully.
What you do about nothing?
What you do about nothing. Oh, I do love thee with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Well, D.A., just goodbye.
Goodbye.
When I was Tom Farrar, magnet, I had no friends. But as John Doe and nobody, you cared. That made things easier. I'd be sending a hefty contribution to the hospital.
We could use the help.
Identity is a funny thing, isn't it? Now I know my name, but do I really know who I am?
Does anybody? One's true self is the most elusive thing in life. Easily lost. Hard to find.
No. Hard to live with. But I'll try. Exit. Pursued by a bear.
Don't you like having company?
Get that old geezer out of here.
Harry's a nice man.
He depresses me.
His form and grace, his manly face, is not the kind that you would find in a statue.
My husband used to play that when we... Well, he used to play...
I'll stop.
No. Oh, I like it.
Would you like to join me?
Well, I haven't done it in a long time.
Me neither. I can't explain. I can't explain. It's really not his brain that makes me thrill. I love him because he's wonderful. Because he's just
Oh, Dr. Auslander, we just got the most bizarre call. A sanitarium in New Orleans called to say that 2 people escaped and were headed for Boston to look for a friend. They asked us to check the psych ward for Lucinda and Ramsey, something or other.
Our revels now are ended. These are actors, as I told you, all spirits that are melted into air, into thin air.
He belongs in a sanitarium. 3rd floor.
Phil? Phil?
Dad?